Good morning, Mr. X's class. Good morning, my class. Good evening, Mr. X's class. Our word of the day today is document. It has two parts of speech, noun and verb. So the noun document is an official paper or book that gives information about something. And then verb is, so it's official. It's an official paper. So it's like your official documents would be things like your ID. Also, documents could be things like the title to a house, any like papers that you sign when you get a house, when you rent, your contract, anything like that. Those would be documents. Usually it's something official. So it's not, for example, I wrote a note on a piece of paper to my husband, to my wife, to buy something, the grocery list, buy milk at the store. I wouldn't use the word document for that. It's usually something official paper. And that's the noun. Verb, to record the details of something. So it's like something is happening and you want to record it to show people what is happening. So an event is happening. So often we use it to talk about like journalism when people are there's a historical event that is happening and people want to record, either write down what's happening or videotape what's happening to tell the world what is happening when there's some kind of historical event happening, or a news event happening, I should say too. At the moment, it'd be a news event. So there's a sentence with the noun. To get deferred action from the government, from immigration, you need to submit various documents. And I think both of those are actually vocabulary words at different levels. So that's good. Submit means turn in various different documents. So anybody who has done it knows that there are a lot of documents, a lot of papers. You have to get lots of papers to do that. To prove when you came to the U.S., prove that how many years you lived here, all kinds of things. I don't know every detail. You have to talk to a legal person, but lots of documents. Documents are like official papers. And then verb sentence, it is dangerous to try to document the war in Syria. So like journalists who work for a newspaper or a TV station try to document the war. There's a war happening in Syria. It's very dangerous because many journalists have been kidnapped or killed. So they're trying to record what's happening, but it's difficult to do. And the sentence over here for English is, we actually made a sentence this time that uses both meanings of the word. Non-fiction books and articles are documents. They can be official papers that document real events and situations in the world. So a non-fiction book tells about something real. So it's documenting it, it's recording real facts or real things that are happening. So documenting the action. And you could say it is a document if it's an official paper. And I also need to talk about the middle part. So in Spanish, documento is the noun, documentar is the verb. And then we have some word families. Documentation, the noun, is that's usually, those are things like user instructions or manuals. Like for computer software, the documentation is like all the papers that tell you how to use it. So it's usually papers that tell you how to use something. That's what documentation is. Documented and undocumented. So obviously a person who is documented has documents. They're legal in the United States. Undocumented does not have documents to be legal in the United States. That's a common way we use those two words. And then documentary is a noun. It's a kind of movie. It's a movie that is a non-fiction movie that documents the action, something that is happening, a documentary. Non-fiction movie, like, for example, if somebody made a movie about the war in Syria that has true events in that movie, you could call it a documentary. And synonyms for document, so for the noun, paper, record, or certificate. Certificate would be, not always, you can't use that in every situation, but sometimes you have a certificate, like a marriage certificate. For some documents, you can say certificate. And the action, report, note, chronicle, take note of. And no antonyms. So that's it for today. I'll stand out of the way of the sentences for a minute so you can see. Thank you for watching, and thank you to my students for recording.